we're called to go and make disciples. But firstly, we're actually called to be disciples.
So many people have got this survival mentality till Jesus comes or heaven. Run in order to win.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to a brand new episode of iDisciple. My name is Caleb. I'm joined here by Pastor Mark, and if you're new to iDisciple today, welcome. This is your place to find content that is designed to help you mature as a follower of Jesus. And we don't encourage you to watch iDisciple alone, but gather, like I'll be doing right now, in a group of up to 6 people, and get into a habit of gathering together to watch this content, talk it through, and really walk out the journey side by side. We don't want you to do the discipleship journey alone. It is best done with other people. It's necessary to have other people, and so we're glad that you're joining us here today. Pastor Mark, Dad, how are you feeling?
Feeling great. Excited. I think, Caleb, it's worth noting that since we've been on this discipleship journey and helping people to get on the journey, you know, we need the tracks to run on our life. We need somebody to say, hey, get on this track.
Yeah.
The train's going, get on the track, get on the train. We have noticed quite phenomenal growth in our church, but it's not just about how many people attending, it's about the growth in the individual. That's our goal. Yeah. I guess we have 2 goals: to grow the church numerically because we count people because people count. And then secondly, to grow those people into fully devoted followers of Christ, of course.
Yeah.
And we've seen, I would say, just incredible growth in people's lives because of the discipleship.
That's right.
So I'm excited again for today.
Me too. We're going to jump right in. The topic for today is 5 priorities that produce winners. I like it already. 5 priorities that produce winners. Maybe you want to take some notes. It should be said that the name of this church is Champions Church. And so this is a pretty fitting topic for us to discuss today. So I'm going to read to us a few verses of Scripture. 1 Corinthians chapter 9, starting in verse 24, and this will really lay the foundation for where we're heading. Do you not know that in a race all the runners run, but only one gets the prize? Run in such a way as to get the prize. Everyone who competes in the games goes into strict training. They do it to get a crown that will not last, but we do it to get a crown that will last forever. Therefore, I do not run like someone running aimlessly. I do not fight like a boxer beating the air. No, I strike a blow to my body and make it my slave, so that after I have preached to others, I myself will not be disqualified for the prize. Great words.
Fantastic words written by Paul, the apostle. Many people know he wrote around 2/3 of the New Testament. Much of his writing was while he was in prison for his faith. And I think really what I want to draw out today is the fact that many Christians think that the whole purpose of their life, Caleb, is to run in such a way just to get through life. And then, of course, there are people who want to run just to get to heaven. You know, if I can just make it through this life, you know, as if we're sitting waiting for heaven, as if heaven is our goal. Whereas Paul puts it like this, he says, don't just run to finish. Actually, I want you to run to win.
Yeah.
As weird though this sounds, what I'm about to say, there are so many Christian followers of Christ who do not know that they're supposed to be winners in life. They think they've just got to survive, get through. You know, we are supposed to thrive. We are a walking Bible. If people look at us, they're going to read us and they're going to go, oh, wow, I don't want to be like that person. They're not thriving, they're just surviving. And so many people have got this survival mentality till Jesus comes or heaven. Paul said, no, listen, run in order to win. the purpose of looking at these 5 things today really is because it really is so very sad, to put it mildly, that people who are following Christ at 25, only 1 in 10 are still fully devoted to him at 65.
Wow.
And that tells me God hasn't moved, Jesus hasn't changed, but what has happened is they haven't known how to keep running to win. So we have to remember, it's not how you start, it's how you finish.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that, because, many people, I'm concerned about, I had a poor upbringing, I started this way, I'm adopted, and all of those, as powerful are those things going on in your life and the beginning of your life. Remember this, we're all on a level playing field. Somebody once said the level in front, the ground in front of the cross is level ground. We all start the same, but we bring so many things into our lives, but it's not how you start. It really is how you finish. So let's talk about some keys to finishing strong.
Yeah, so the first point here is to find yourself a mature Christian. I like this terminology, that will get in your face.
Get in your face.
It really is the process here of discipleship. That, we're called to go and make disciples. But firstly, we're actually called to be disciples, which really speaks of having someone. Of course, Jesus is number one, but also having people in our lives who can get in our face. And I think really that speaks of, they're not just there to tell you what you want to hear, but they're there to tell you what you need to hear. So do you want to unpack that further for us?
So, so many people want to do life alone. We win together, we lose alone, as we say. And I think people go, well, I've got Jesus, I don't need human beings. What they forget is that Jesus chooses people to help you to be on the right track. You're not supposed to be an island just there on your own figuring it out yourself. You need people. So God places in your life pastors, teachers, mentors, even just great friends, but mature Christian friends who are going to help you along the way. It was said about a coach. A coach is somebody that gets you to do things that you don't want to do. If it's a running coach, you wake up in the morning, I don't feel like running. I don't want to do the 100 meters today. Yeah, do you want to go to the Olympics? Yeah, well, you will run 100 meters today, and you will practice. You will keep going. So a coach is somebody who gets you to do something you don't want to do so that you will become who you want to be. So there is this aspect of having somebody who is right there, a friend who's going to do one of several things. A friend's going to love you, but a true friend is also going to rebuke you, is going to challenge you and say, hey, why are you doing that? You shouldn't be thinking like that. And so we need somebody who's in our face, somebody who's really going to get under our skin and say, hey, there is better plans for you. There's better things for you. If you don't have that person, you're likely to fall behind. So I advise, of course, as we do in our church, somebody who becomes your mentor, your friend. But remember, don't treat everybody the same. Most friends won't challenge you.
Right.
Now, you can have those friends, and you should have those friends.
Yeah.
But don't mistake just an ordinary friendship for a friendship that is also a coach and a mentor to you to say, hey, come on, you need to do better in that area.
So good. Great first point. Then let's move on to the next one. You need to take and you need to make time daily to develop a personal relationship with God.
Yeah, the truth is, many people would say, oh, my life is so busy. We've got small children and I've got a job and my wife's got a job and we're racing from here, there and everywhere. We're the transport committee for the kids. They got so many time. We just don't have time. If you can't take time, you have to make time. And so many people, remember, we all have 24 hours a day. You have to carve out that time. If you're married, you have to carve out that time. Otherwise, your relationship with your spouse is not going to be as strong as it could be. So you have to make sure if you're married, we encourage people, have a date night whereby you say, hey, no matter what is going on in our family, we are going to spend tonight together, even if it's only once a week, a date night together. You've got to have a date every day with Jesus. I mean, tell us about your kind of schedule as a young man, youth pastor here. I know I live in the same house as you, but I want you to kind of just tell us a little bit about you.
Yeah, sure. So for me, my ideal doesn't always work out like this, but certainly my ideal would be to wake first thing in the morning, for me specifically 6 o'clock, and the first hour and a half to 2 hours is just kind of quiet time, prayer, Thanksgiving, reading the Bible, worship. And again, it doesn't always work out like that, but certainly I have found that when that is in order and when that is in place, it dramatically transforms the day. When that doesn't happen, I can definitely feel the effects of it. And so I've just found in my own life that daily habit, that discipline, what a transformation it brings to my own relationship with God. And then once that's first, it impacts everything else that comes after it. And I'm actually better in every other area when I prioritize my relationship with God.
That's a great way of seeing it. And if we use the analogy of, say, for instance, what most of us have to do nowadays, and that is you go to bed and you got a charger at the side of your bed for your phone. Guaranteed that a big percentage of people listening to this, Caleb, have got a charger at the side of their bed for their iPad, their iPhone, or whatever kind of phone. Because we want to make sure when we wake in the morning, we've got a full charge. Think about this, that if you plug your phone in for 2 minutes, you've got a very small charge. The longer the phone is plugged in for, you're getting a better charge. You're getting a full charge for the rest of the day. I only charge my phone once a day. I don't need to charge it anymore because it's had a full charge. I think probably when you said 1.5 to 2 hours spent with Jesus in the morning, some people were hoping you're going to say 1.5 to 2 minutes, and they're going to go, no way, what? I can't do that. Well, you know what? We both know that you can start small. You can start with 15 minutes.
Yeah.
But by the time you develop that relationship with the Lord, then you can expand that. It extends, and the time flies by once you're in that relationship and talking, chatting things through, listening to Him, talking to Him, reading the Word, worship, all of those things. It's absolutely right what you say. Jesus, it says in the Bible, often withdrew to lonely places and prayed. Why did He do that? Because He Himself wanted to model, you need to be plugged in to the power of God every single day. So don't wait for 3 days and then your battery's died and then complain, oh, I can't wait for church because my battery's dead, my spiritual battery. You have to take responsibility to plug yourself in every single day. And I think it is a great analogy that if you have a fast charge, it's going to last for a few hours, but the longer you're in the presence of God, the longer you spend with Him, the more He's going to impact your day in such a powerful way. So great. So next thing about producing winners, Caleb, is practicing
self-control.
Did you say practicing self-control?
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. The Bible talks about how I am crucified with Christ. I no longer live, but Christ lives in me. Now, during Easter episode, we talked about crucifixion. Crucifixion, we know, is painful, and it's a slow process. So every one of us, everybody listening to this episode, we all know that there's stuff in our lives that needs to go. There's stuff that we're challenged about. When God is moving in our lives and we're having to use our very own self-control, we have to understand it will be at times two things, both painful and slow. That's why, including ourselves and including every pastor, including every leader in our church worldwide, every one of us would testify we are a work under progress.
Yeah.
God is not looking for perfection. Only one perfect, Jesus. But we are under construction. And so we have to die daily. What does that mean? It means the stuff in our lives that is not right for us, is getting between me and God, my relationship with Christ. We have to deal with that with self-control. You know, there are certain things we think about. Can you read that verse, please, Caleb? 1 John, I think it is, chapter 2.
Yep. Verse 16, for everything in the world, the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life comes not from the Father, but from the world.
Yeah, so it's telling us quite bluntly, listen, every person on the planet has a problem, and it will be the lust of the eyes, yeah?
Yeah.
The lust of the flesh, which is all our old nature, is continually every single day wanting to get us to do things and say things and look at things. And then it says the pride of life. So we've got the eyes, we've got the flesh, and then we've got the issue of pride. Lust and pride, the two big things we have to die daily to, is what I'm trying to say. Those things can be even the amount of food we eat. You know, we can raid the fridge and think, wow, that's not wrong. Now, come on. You know, we need to deal with self-control. The amount that you eat even needs to come under that.
Yeah.
Enjoy food. We all love food. I love food. But let's not gorge ourselves. And, you know, even in the area of our appetite, we have to rein it in so that we can live healthy lives.
Yeah.
What we watch on TV, what we listen to, who we mix with, and all those kind of things, you know, we'd have to die daily. It's painful, it's slow, but we're all under process.
Yeah, and we want to finish well.
Yeah, we do.
And it's what is required. We're almost out of time, so we may have to just race through these last two.
Yep.
But the next one is view all money as seed. It doesn't grow in your pocket.
No.
It grows when it's sown.
When it's sown. This is a true story, verified story, that a 2,000-year-old pot was found, and this clay pot, and they had it dated 2,000 years old. They found some seeds from 2,000 years ago in the pot that was still in seed form. They decided, wow, I wonder what would happen if you planted 2,000-year-old seed. And they planted it and found that it grew just like normal seed. It's been sitting for 2,000 years in seed form,
Wow.
But once it's planted, it grows into what it's created to do. And so if you're going to be a winner, you have got to take your eyes off money. Remember this old saying, keep money out of your heart.
Yeah.
God will keep it in your pocket. Seen that happen for over 40 years now. It happens every time. So if you're going to be a winner, treat all money as seed.
Brilliant.
God blesses you with your work. You're given some money, treat it as seed. Take some, yeah, but sow some. Give some. Make sure you're a tither. Giving. Be generous. Be generous with God. You must be generous with God. Ask God what you want to do with this money that I have. and be a sower. People who end up as whiners and not winners are people who hold on to the seed and it never grows.
Last one. Be a good person, not just an anointed person.
We could spend so long on this because it's one of those age-old things that needs dealing with, and we need to confront it head on, and I'm going to quickly confront it head on. Lots of people want to be anointed, and they think being anointed means being annoying. Yep. And that is, well, it doesn't matter what I say, God's anointed me, and I'll upset everybody else because I'm anointed. No, stop it. Jesus was anointed by God. Acts chapter 10, verse 38. God anointed Jesus of Nazareth with the Holy Spirit and power, and he went around doing good, healing the sick, and all who were under the power of the devil because God was with him. We've got to stop this mismatch of things whereby, I'm I'm anointed, therefore I can ride roughshod over everybody else. No, come on, if you're going to be a winner, you need to grow in stature with God, vertical, with man, horizontal. Those two have got to come together. You've got to grow in both of those things. Otherwise, you'll just become some person that everybody dislikes. They couldn't care less whether you're anointed or not. Be anointed, yes, but be a good person. Be the person that people want to be around. Yes, have great values, have great morals, have great standards. Yes, be anointed by God. Yes, be a man of prayer, but be a likable person. Doesn't get preached about anymore. So we have a lot of Christians walking around who want to be like Jesus but don't want to do good. They just upset everybody. Stop it.
Very good. So good. Well, we're going to leave it there, and I think that's a lot for people to chew on and
it is.
Process, and so many good things. So thank you for sharing that. And thank you again for joining us today for this episode of iDisciple. We're going to hand it over to your groups, pray through it, talk through it, and walk it out. That's our encouragement to you today, and we'll see you back here on the next episode.